Hey YouTube, Mark Kaufman here, and today I'm going to show you two lockback knives, and the first one is the Buck 110 PXR. Now, this one is a new release from Buck, and I was really intrigued by it. Now, these are going for about $110, $109 right now, and I think it's a good buy. Now, the first thing to note is this thing has an incredible spring in it. So incredible that it actually, right before filming this, cut the tip of my pinky off. I lost the grip of my thumb stud here, and this action here, right here, actually cut the tip of my pinky off. So yeah, be very careful, have a good grip, and you can just hear that. Let's listen to this really quick. That thing it has an incredible spring in it. I have never had a Buck 110 with such a strong spring in it. And this thing is like a guillotine. The only real problem is it's very thin. This is a very thin handle, and I mean, you can see why I would have lost maybe even more than just my tip of my pinky finger. I mean, this thing is really, really strong. So that's the first thing to note. So that'll grow back, that'll come back, but just be aware of how strong the spring is. Now, when I got this in the mail, I noticed two things. First, the pivot felt just a hair loose, and I ended up loosening up the pivot, and it just came right out. There was no Loctite in that at all. So I think Buck is guessing that people are going to strip this and put their own lube in it. So I prefer the factory to put Loctite on it and me not have to worry about it. But I ended up putting Loctite there. And then there's one other thing I noticed, and it's with the flush screw in the pocket clip. The first one there is just fine, but you can see something happened to the one in the back. It's like canted forward just a little bit, not as flush as the one on the left. And I mean, for $100, I would have expected the screws to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now, the box this comes in is fantastic. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it is very nice, and it has some shaved cardboard bits in it to protect the knife in transit. So, again, very strong spring. The thumb studs are comfortable. They actually don't line up perfectly with the blade. They're actually thicker than the blade, and I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it gives you a lot to grip, but it's not as aesthetically pleasing as I would have liked it. Now, for the rest of the knife, it's great. I like it. The G10 is grippy, but not as grippy as like a Spyderco grippiness. This is a very mild grip to it, but it won't tear up your pockets. It hasn't been tearing up mine, and the pocket clip is of pretty decent strength. So this one I'll be carrying for a few weeks. Hopefully it won't cut all of my fingertips off, but if it does, that'll be in the upcoming review. And now I will throw this one back here. The next one is another classic, or at least in some circles it is, and that is the Cold Steel Code 4. This one is one that I have been thinking about getting for, I want to say, at least 3 years. I've been on and off about getting this one, and then it wasn't until I handled one from a buddy of mine, and I thought, you know what? With how thin this knife is, and how robust that triad lock is, and how much blade you get, this is a no-brainer. I am really happy I went for it. You can choke up here a little bit. You can choke up back here, and honestly, I'm glad I picked this up. I'm sad that I've gone through so many cold steels and hadn't gotten this yet. I am so tempted to even get the Tanto version of this knife that I like it so much. So this one here has an aluminum handled setup here. This whole handle section, even the back here, is anodized aluminum. Now it is coming off kind of like an OD green, but it's actually kind of like a khaki sand, like a OD khaki sand kind of color. It's not really a green per se. It does come with a left and right pocket clip, so the left side is going to be canted the right way as the right side, so that's nice. The pocket clip was ridiculously strong. I actually bent this back a little bit just so I could get it over my pocket. Even though these are two smooth surfaces, it was ridiculously strong. Now what we've got on this is S35VN. This is made in Taiwan, not China, so I'm happy about that. And then this is also going to be sporting this really nice spear point blade. Now for me, I prefer a spear point. I feel Cold Steel does a great job with their Tantos, their clip points, but the spear point for me is very, very usable. You've got a little bit of belly, a little bit of flat, you've got a nice piercing point, and for me personally, I think it covers a lot of bases. So these two are my two new lockback knives. You might notice that there's an absence of the Spyderco Endura. I have ended up just selling all my Spydercos. I really am a thumb stud kind of guy, not really the Spyderco type of opening method. So for me personally, thumb stud is the way to go when it comes to my knives. But personally, Spyderco does make a great knife. It's just I've decided not to buy any more of them. So thank you guys for checking out these two micro reviews. I'm going to be carrying both of these for about a couple of weeks, and then I'm going to let you guys know how the steels stack up. Now this one has S35, this is S30, but this has the Paul Boss heat treat. So this is actually going to push way above the standard S30V, probably even past the S35. So I'm excited to see how that performs. So we will see. Till the next one, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.